Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because I am in beautiful Corona del Mar. So much is going on right now. And a lot to report. But this is definitely the calm before the storm. And warning after warning after warning, guys. And we're seeing a lot of craziness in the economy, with potential interest rates going up, with inflation, with absolutely everything, and people financially are out of control. Before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. And don't forget, I've got the Patreon channel you can sign up for if you'd like more access to me. And the email list is in the video description. You can sign up for that. We've got emails going out in the next couple days. First things first, consumer credit is completely out of control. Out of control. Now, here's the one thing that's funny is, you know, we heard what a great shopping year it was with Christmas and how everything is just fantastic. And what we just found out was that consumer credit grew at one of the highest rates in history. In 22 years, the percentage of consumer credit grew faster than it's ever grown. What we saw is the average person took out more credit than ever just to get through Christmas and the holidays. Okay, it's kind of normal that people go out and hit the credit cards up and buy people gifts. The one thing that's messed up is that there was $33 billion spent on people's credit cards in the last quarter of 2021, and it brought personal debt, credit card debt, up over $50 billion during that time, which is crazy. It's absolutely nuts that we're borrowing this much. Now, overall consumer credit, when you add everything up, went up in the last quarter. It went up $333 billion. $333 billion. The total right now that is owed is $15.5 trillion in consumer credit. I mean, guys, that is, when you think about that, that is staggering. Okay? It's absolutely such a huge, huge figure. And with inflation, if you even believe the 7.5% figure, which you'd have to be absolutely delusional to believe that, because, you know, if you buy anything, if you buy beef, if you buy food, if you buy absolutely anything, you're seeing these numbers go up through the roof. And we're supposed to believe that it's only at 7.5%. At 7.5%, the average person is going to have to spend, just to maintain what they've already done, $276 more a month. Okay, that's crazy, guys. It's over $3,000 a year just to maintain what you're already purchasing. And that's the one thing I get a kick out of. A lot of people send me stuff and they say, Dan, you know, we went to Costco and my wife always buys the same things. And things went from, you know, we purchased the same food, and 6 months ago it was $150. Now it's $225, guys. That's not a 7.5% increase, guys. It's absolutely staggering. And again, this is the calm before the storm. Inflation is going to get much worse. For them to fix this, they would have to raise interest rates so high. But again, you're being told how great the economy is. The misery index is based on inflation, and it's based on unemployment. But if unemployment's so good, you don't have a misery index going up right now. You don't have inflation going up like this right now. So I believe this is 1970s numbers again, and this is absolutely staggering. And the fact that they change it and do different things to make it so that, hey, you know, the inflationary numbers and how they're reported are different now than they were 15 years ago is insane. We all know that we're paying more for this, but you need to get yourself fiscally ready. You have to. You have to get rid of things. It's great. I had someone come and organize, you know, everything in my garage, and it was the best thing. There was so much stuff to sell that I didn't even know I had still packed away. So I'm going to unload all this stuff right now. And just stuff, if it's put in a box inside of a garage and I'm not opening it or getting access to it a few times a year, then I don't need it, guys. So, you know, do what you can do. It's a beautiful day out here. It's crazy beautiful out here. The winds have died down substantially. But again, this is the calm before the storm. And warning after warning after warning. Those poor people yesterday fighting the fires, okay, didn't wake up thinking that, oh, my houses could burn down today. But you need to prepare for whatever could happen. If you're in a hurricane zone, you prepare for hurricanes. If you're in an earthquake area, you prepare for earthquake. Wildfires, you need to prepare for the wildfires. It's that simple. So how do you prepare for that? Make sure you've got all your important documents. Make sure you've got access to money. Make sure you've got access to get rid of things that are lifetime mementos that you could get out of there or protect in some fireproof or some secure manner. And again, that's the minimum that you should be doing right now. This is not going to end pretty, and it's going to be a complete mess, okay? And I just think that people need to look at the warning after warning after warning that we're getting, and be ready. Share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think. Small businesses right now are struggling for a myriad of reasons. Struggling to get employees, struggling to get customers, struggling with inventory and supplies. There's a great article from the Wall Street Journal talking about how small businesses, because they can't get employees, have to raise prices, which doesn't make any sense, because what we're seeing with the inflationary problems is just getting product is such a problem right now. And people are spending more money on everything to run their businesses right now. As I talk to clients and friends and places I shop at, they're experiencing such a backlog of everything. People sent me emails about things like their garage door company cannot get garage doors. They're 7 months behind. How do you run a business when you're 7 months behind? And it's amazing, because the problem with the ships, they're now saying, hey, the worst is over. We're going to start to see ships on time and cargo deliveries on time. Do you really think that that's going to solve it? Really? Because I know it's not. I know that that's not, that's not the end all to be all, is just the cargo problem. Ford and GM reached out to their dealers and saying they do not want the dealerships to overcharge people anymore. They don't want them to spike dealer fees just because they're having inventory problems. Well, again, mixed message day after day after day. We were just told by GM that there is no chip shortage anymore, and that it's done, and that there's not going to be a problem with delivering cars. And in fact, there is a problem delivering cars, because when you drive by any dealership, which who sits there and goes, gosh, I need to go buy a GM car? Nobody does that right now. And the fact that the average new car is $45,000 at a starting price is insane. It's absolutely nuts when you think about this. I drove by a Honda about a month and a half ago, and clearly brand new, clearly a new buyer, sticker still in the window at almost 38 grand. And I'm shocked at a stoplight that this person paid that much for a Honda Civic. So Ford's getting grief from, Ford's giving grief to the dealers about overcharging people. But again, they're saying that this is no big deal, and that this is just a typical supply and demand problem. Again, guys, if you have a car and you can sell a car right now, this is not going to last forever, that you're going to be able to get these sky-high prices for used vehicles. Man, it is hot out here. It's February, and it is blazing out here. So just an absolute beautiful day, to say the least. But, it's crazy. Super Bowl, they say, is going to be, could be almost 90 degrees at kickoff time in the stadium. They say that avocados right now are at an all-time high in price, so your guacamole is going to cost more money. They're saying how chicken wings, there's a shortage of chicken wings, and I saw a great interview with a poultry supplier. It takes hands to make chicken wings. You've got to have a guy dissect this and cut these wings off the birds. They just don't fall off. And again, the excuse of employees and employers and not having enough staff is getting old. It really is, because either we've got the greatest economy, everybody's hiring, everybody's got a job, or we don't. So make up your mind, guys. And again, the calm before the storm. This is so precarious right now, what we're living through, to say the least. And again, you know, do you care that your Super Bowl party is going to cost 15% more this year? I don't think anybody does. I could care less about Super Bowl myself. And just want to, you know, let you know the figures, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Let me know what you think. We are seeing retail crime still continue to explode and be a massive problem around the country. And you can blame different regions, you can blame, you know, different bureaucracies that are not, you know, prosecuting these people, but the theft rings that are getting together and robbing stores on a grand scale are growing substantially. And it's amazing when you hear these figures. It's a great article below about how theft rings in San Francisco alone, the ones that got caught, they stole $8 million worth of merchandise. There's a Walgreens store that lost $200,000 worth of merchandise out of one Walgreens. In fact, the Walgreens in my daughter's neighborhood in Los Angeles, closing, done. And again, you know, just blaming it on poor performance and theft inside the stores. Speaking of theft, the IRS just announced that they had a record haul in the last quarter of their fiscal year. Their fiscal year ends at the end of January, and they took in $1.5 trillion of federal taxes. $1.5 trillion, guys. That is crazy. That's a huge amount, largest ever that they've taken in. So again, they also talk about how cryptos are going to be a huge moneymaker and a huge windfall for the IRS once they start to collect in the cryptos. Now, $824 billion of that money was you and me paying our taxes. So there's that. It's just absolutely crazy that they're getting this kind of money and those figures. So, you know, the theft that we're seeing is nuts. You know, you're seeing people getting robbed during broad daylight right now in Los Angeles, and we're hearing more and more of these stories. You guys have to protect yourself. You have to be in a position that you are, you know, aware of your surroundings all the time. And if you have to go out at night, try to take somebody with you at least so that you can protect yourself because it's only getting worse right now. Share your thoughts on all this stuff. I really want to know what you think. Just a beautiful day out here. The other side over there is the Wedge. That's that surfing spot we've been to a couple times. This is the opening to Newport Harbor out there. Just a quiet day. Beautiful day, but just very quiet out here. You know, you can see some of the haze from the fire that's left over. The fire, as of right now, is about 50% contained. So that's good news. It's burning towards the freeway and not towards houses. You know, you don't want it to burn at all, but you'd rather have it go in that direction than go towards the city. Now, one thing that came out of the health crisis that's good news is that banks like Bank of America are going to lower their overdraft fees from $35 down to $10. And there's a ton of hidden fees with banks, and I'll talk about that later. But one thing that happened during the health crisis was Bank of America, like Fargo, pledged that they were going to refund people that were having a difficult time overdraft fees. And I helped a lot of people get this, and I saw people get hundreds, and one person got over $1,000 in overdraft fees because they were so ridiculous, and Bank of America credited it back. Now, there is a lawsuit right now being filed by two people, and they want to get class action status to make sure that everybody gets these fees back from the bank. So you've got a truck driver and you've got a retiree that totally two different lifestyles, but they were charged these fees from Bank of America, and they're suing right now, and they want those fees returned. Now, here's the thing, guys. I know that this works. If you go to Bank of America specifically and you say, hey, listen, I want these overdraft fees returned, you really don't have to have a good reason. They are returning those fees. They will go back easily 18 to 24 months. That quick, guys. It's just really simple. So I highly recommend that you do this. And I mean, it could be a substantial amount of money. 35 bucks a whack. If you had 10 of them, it's $350, guys. So there's that. The other thing is, I love when people write me from around the world. And I just got a letter from Magnus, which is a very cool name, out of Sweden. And he was telling me that the Swedish economy is very similar to here, where they're being told that inflation is completely intact and not to worry, and they have a producer price index and they've got CPI in Sweden, and they're being told that inflation right now is at 4.1%, which he says if anybody buys anything, they know that it's just not that low. It's completely ridiculous. And the other thing is the housing market. The housing market exploded with all the free money that was out there, and with that, you saw housing prices go up to the moon. And he sent me these two great charts as I'm trying to dissect them and figure them out and translate. It was very cool. So I really appreciate Magnus sending me this. But take a look at this because the links are there. But the one thing that you're seeing with the real estate market is you're seeing that it's starting to slow down in Sweden as well. So inflation right now is out of control. It's not 4%. They want to lie to everybody and tell them it's 4%. And Magnus says it's just everything he purchases is much higher than it was in the recent past. So there's that. And the final thing is John Williams. John Williams is somebody that I really admire quite a bit. And he has a site called Shadow Stats. And he's talking about the potential Fed raising interest rates and that it's going to be a cataclysmic disaster on the economy here in the United States. And he's made such a bold statement that he says that it's going to be depressionary times if the Fed raises interest rates right now. Well, okay, Mr. Williams, I love you, but what's the answer? Nothing? Do nothing? Just keep printing dough and letting Jerome Powell buy stocks and do whatever he wants? It's crazy. So that's the other thing. Jerome Powell, I guess, think about, they have a trading desk at the Fed, which is, it's like having, a gambling desk inside the casino that the employees can use. It's absolutely crazy. So anyways, Jerome Powell bought a lot of stocks, and you will not see an ounce of trouble come this guy's way as a result of that. But when you got the police helicopter out there, I am north of the fire. Fire's that way. The wind's blowing that way, so you don't see any of the smoke where I'm at. But again, guys, share your thoughts and all this stuff. And again, Magnus, thank you so much for sending me that from Sweden, because it's nice to get another perspective, because everybody feels that they live on an island regardless of where they're at. And this is only a problem in Sweden, and it's not. It's a problem worldwide. And you're being told one thing as you live the real life and have to pay for things that are incredibly expensive. Speaking of crime, it was just announced that Tesla had set up a brand new charging station, and people were excited because it was in an area that they really needed one, and drivers went there to go charge their Teslas, and thieves had stolen the cables because of the connectivity and the copper and the valuable components in the charging cables. Man, you cannot make this stuff up. The desperation of people right now and how bad this is getting is absolutely crazy. Now, cryptocurrencies, if you guys don't think that these are going to stick around, you should take a look at this. Microsoft just announced that they are hiring a head of cryptocurrency for the company. Cannot find the amount of the salary, but it's going to be a full-time position, and it's on all the different recruiting sites, Indeed, LinkedIn, places like that. So if you think you're the person, go work at Microsoft. But again, that tells you guys that this is something that's not going to go away anytime soon. With the filming of this video, we're seeing more bad news with the Dow, more bad news with oil, And, the Ukraine situation with Russia, if that's going to play a role in this, we just don't know that right now. But again, warning after warning after warning, guys. Get yourself ready, with food. Get yourself ready with supplies, security, everything inside your house so that you can be safe and be prepared if something happened that was really, really serious, to say the least. Now, I'm going to finish this with one final story, and that they did a study on where the best places to live for your longevity, longest life, and they rated all 50 states. And I won't bore you with every state, but you can take a look at it. The link will be in the video description below. But the best place to live for longevity is Hawaii. Aloha, mahalo, and all that fun stuff. So if you live in Hawaii, you basically live the longest because of maybe it's the island breeze. Who knows? There's that. The worst state to live in is Mississippi. Who knew? I would have guessed it was right here in California, but that's just me. So please do not forget to hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. Don't forget, we've got the email list that you can sign up for. Don't forget, I have a Patreon channel you can sign up for if you'd like more access to me. Onward and upward, guys. Just wanted to do a real quick one for you today. And hope you enjoyed it. Good luck. I will see you guys real soon.